Hey y'all, this is complex numbers. So complex numbers is when we have that funky thing I. And one major thing to remember is that when you have I squared, it equals -1. And then the opposite of that would be that the square root of -1 is what we call I. So you can use those interchangeably. And the ACT will almost always warn you. So it'll tell you something like this: I squared is -1, right? The real trick of the trade here is that you can use your calculator. When you go to your calculator, if you press the blue button, the one that says second up at the top, and then you press the decimal button right next to the 0, it will put an I on your screen. Right, so then you can use an I anywhere that you're interested in. So in this problem here, you just literally type in this one times this one, and you'll get your answer. This is a super easy way to solve complex numbers, even if you're not feeling that confident about them. Right. Another thing that you might run into is pretty uncommon, but you might run into is a problem like number 2, which is essentially saying, what is the distance from the origin to the point 3 plus 4i, where the blah, 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 blah. What they mean here is that this point is at 3 comma 4i. So basically we go, our numbers are on, like our regular numbers are on the x-axis. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, just like we're used to, -1, -2, etc. Right? But what's funky about the complex plane here is that you count up by i's. So this would be positive 1i, 2i, 3i, and 4i up there. So this point is 3 comma 4i. So 3 comma 4i, which is up there. Right? What they want to know is the distance from the origin. So that's this distance here. They want to know that. And the way that I can calculate that is pretty simple, actually. I'm going to turn this into a triangle problem. And I see that I'm counting over here 1, 2, 3 spots. So that's my 3. And then I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. And I see that this is a 3, 4, 5, you guessed it, triangle. And so the distance from the origin to my point is 5. Correct answer is D. Right? That'll be one of the more complicated ones on today's. Let's take a look. For each of these, you just type them in your calculator. Right? That's it. Don't even worry about this part. Right? Just type them exactly in. Get super used to doing that. Work on 1 through